Ever pondered why society seems to favour weak men? A provocative query, isn't it? Yet it's one that resonates with the undercurrents of our societal norms, media portrayals and expectations. We often witness a paradoxical narrative where the less assertive, less dominant men are seemingly favoured, while the traditional idea of strong men is gradually being chipped away. It's a fascinating discourse, one that's brimming with layers of cultural nuances, psychological intricacies and social constructs. It's not about branding strength as good or bad or assigning a moral compass to it. Instead, it's about unraveling the threads of this narrative, understanding its roots and its far-reaching implications. It's a conversation that's as complex as it is compelling, a dialogue that's as intriguing as it is controversial. So, let's embark on this journey of exploration and understanding. Today, we delve into understanding if our society indeed wants weak men. History holds a mirror to our present. As we peer into the looking glass, we see the societal expectations of men from yesteryears reflected back at us. Traditionally, men were expected to embody strength and assertiveness. These traits were not only admired, but were considered essential for survival and success. In the age of hunters and gatherers, physical strength was paramount. Men were the primary providers and protectors of their families and communities. They were expected to be robust, resilient and fearless. This was the era where the survival of the fittest was more than just a theory, it was a way of life. As societies evolved, so did the expectations placed on men. The advent of the Industrial Revolution brought a shift. Physical strength started giving way to mental acuity and strategic thinking. Men were now valued for their ability to navigate the complexities of a rapidly changing world. Yet the heart of the expectations remained the same. Strength and assertiveness were still at the core. The 20th century saw a further evolution of these standards. The world wars, civil rights movements, and the rise of democracy all played a part in reshaping societal expectations. Men were no longer just protectors and providers. They were also expected to be empathetic, understanding, and emotionally available. Strength and assertiveness were no longer the sole defining traits of masculinity. As we moved into the 21st century, the lines blurred even further. Today, men are encouraged to express their emotions freely, to be nurturing, and to share in responsibilities that were once deemed feminine. While this shift has brought about a much-needed balance, it has also led to a paradox of sorts. In the pursuit of a more balanced and egalitarian society, are we inadvertently encouraging the emergence of weaker men? Are we mistaking vulnerability for weakness, assertiveness for aggression? The societal expectations of men have certainly evolved over time, but the question remains, are these changes for the better or for the worse? The shift in expectations seems to have taken a different turn in modern society. The media, a powerful shaper of perceptions, has a significant role to play. When we speak of the portrayal of men in media, we're delving into a subject that has undergone a significant transformation over the years. This portrayal has evolved from the single dimension of the macho man, strong, silent, and emotionally detached, to a more nuanced representation, reflecting a broad spectrum of masculinity. Consider the evolution of the superhero genre. Characters like Superman and Batman from the mid-20th century were depicted as invincible and stoic, rarely showing emotions other than anger or determination. Fast forward to the 21st century, we see characters like Thor in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, who, despite his godlike powers, isn't afraid to show vulnerability or express his feelings. This shift isn't confined to the big screen. Television series, too, have started showcasing male characters with complex emotional lives. An example is the character of Jack Pearson from the popular series This Is Us, who is both a pillar of strength for his family and a man who openly grapples with his personal struggles. What's more, music and advertisements have also joined the chorus in redefining masculinity. Pop stars like Harry Styles and Shawn Mendes challenge traditional gender norms through their music and personal styles. Advertisements, once a bastion of stereotypical male imagery, now often promote a more balanced representation of men. All these examples point to a media landscape that is gradually moving away from the old rigid portrayals of men. But it's crucial to understand that media doesn't operate in a vacuum. It both shapes and is shaped by societal expectations and norms. As media continues to evolve, it holds up a mirror to society, reflecting its values, aspirations, and anxieties. It's a symbiotic relationship where the media influences societal expectations and perceptions, and in turn is influenced by them. This continual feedback loop helps to shape our collective understanding of what it means to be a man in today's world. Media in many ways reflects and reinforces the societal norms. Societal norms and expectations are often a manifestation of deeper shared beliefs. Let's dive into the realm of societal norms and expectations. It's interesting to observe that society at times seems to favor less assertive or dominant men. Now, why is that? It's because societal norms are a product of the collective consciousness, a reflection of shared values and beliefs. And these shared beliefs, in many instances, lean towards peace, cooperation and harmony, traits often associated with less aggressive or dominant behavior. Take, for instance, the concept of the nice guy. The nice guy is often seen as polite, considerate and non-threatening. Such men are often favored in social and professional settings. They are seen as team players, cooperative and easy to get along with. But while these traits are undeniably positive, they may not necessarily align with the stereotypical image of a strong man. Now let's consider the implications of these norms. On the individual level, men may feel pressure to suppress their assertiveness or dominance to fit into the nice guy mold. This can lead to feelings of confusion and frustration as they grapple with the disparity between their natural tendencies and societal expectations. On a societal level, these norms can perpetuate stereotypes and limit diversity. Men who do not conform to the nice guy image may face social ostracism, while those who do conform may feel unfulfilled or inauthentic. Sociological theories and findings give weight to these observations. The social identity theory, for instance, suggests that individuals often conform to group norms to maintain a positive social identity. Meanwhile, the symbolic interactionism theory posits that individuals create their identities based on societal expectations and their interactions with others. In conclusion, societal norms and expectations can craft a narrative that subtly favors less assertive or dominant men. These norms are not just rules we abide by. They are powerful influences shaping how men perceive their roles and identities. The societal norms and expectations have a profound influence on how men perceive their roles and identities. The societal expectations of men are complex and multifaceted. As we draw this discussion to a close, it's important to reflect on the various themes we've explored. We started by asking a provocative question. We dove into the historical context of masculinity, tracing its evolution from the stoic, silent figures of the past to today's more nuanced understanding. We've seen how media has influenced and continues to influence our perceptions of what it means to be a man, often perpetuating harmful stereotypes and unrealistic standards. And we've examined societal expectations and norms, the unspoken rules that often pressure men into conforming to a specific mold. In dissecting these layers, we've seen how society can sometimes harbor a desire for men to be less assertive, less dominant, in a word, weaker. This can be a response to a variety of factors, from a historical overemphasis on physical strength to a modern-day backlash against toxic masculinity. But it's important to remember that just as it's harmful to expect all men to be strong and assertive, it's equally harmful to want them to be weak. Our perceptions and biases shape our expectations. They influence how we interact with others, how we judge them, and ultimately how we judge ourselves. If we expect men to be weak, we limit their potential and stifle their individuality. We deny them the chance to be their authentic selves, to express their feelings, to seek help when needed, and to grow as individuals. As we reflect on this, we should